we're coming into the holidays, so I don't want to look at my portfolio for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but the market feels toppy. There's all these Venezuelan stuff, the Fed restarting QE, jobs report wasn't great, etc. Is there anything you'd recommend doing in order to not stress all that much during the holidays, or am I overthinking? I think you're overthinking, especially if you want to have the positions coming into the beginning of the year. But again, there's ways to hedge the position. So you could buy puts out of the money. This is called a collar. You buy puts out of the money and you sell calls to finance the puts, and it basically locks in a downside for you. It protects your downside. You lose the stock on the upside if it goes higher, but I like this strategy moving forward. So other than that, but I wouldn't think about it. I think you're pretty much okay. But I'm not scared, because I'm not overexposed, but I'm very leery going into next year. Everybody is so bullish. I've never seen more bulls in my life. And it's funny, the bulls only come out when the market's going up. When the market's going down, there are no bulls. It's like the weirdest thing. Then I get calls from every single person. What do I do? I'm destroyed. Da, 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 da. It's really, it's actually pretty amazing that the markets are like this, and I think it's scary. Actually, every time the market goes down, everybody's in a freak out, and then all of a sudden the market goes up, and everybody doesn't care what's happening with the market. But overall, markets are bid, very very strong, and everything looks amazing for the market right now. So no reason to freak out. Next question. How many times do you think the Fed will be able to cut in 2026? How will the Fed impact the stock market? It's interesting. And the other question, it was talking about QE or whatever. I think it's the opposite. I think the Fed, everyone in the Fed wants to roll off the balance sheet. So I think we're running into some headwinds here. And I would be careful. And I think that it's in the market that the Fed is cutting rates. So everybody knows that there's nothing that anybody can do about it. And once the new Fed chairman comes in May, which I don't know if it's going to be Waller or Wash or whoever kisses Donald's butt the most will be the Fed chairman. And Donald just wants low rates. I don't know why. I don't know what he thinks, but he wants low short-term rates. So it won't impact the long term as you're seeing now, but he wants low rates. So let's give it to him, and we'll see what happens. Next question: what do you think the biggest trade of 2025 was, and what do you think the biggest trade of 2026 will be? I don't know. The biggest trade in 2025 is still like the AI trade, some of these ancillary stocks. Quantum computing was a big trade that got blown up. I think 2026 is a cautious year, and I think you want to be out of technology. So that's my call for 2026. Next question. What do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. Larry, if you had to predict where the S&P 500 would end the year in 2026, what would you think? I would say down 15% on the year. I think it's going to be a very tough year. And I think the market will enter a full correction and then maybe come out of it towards the end of the year. I think there's a lot of negative cross currents here. So, that's what I'm thinking. Um,